If you know what you desire, you are on your purpose beam. That's the first step of getting on your purpose beam, is knowing what you desire. And I want you to imagine an energetic stream of light, and that's your purpose beam. When you align your thoughts, your intentions, your emotions, and your actions with the energy of that beam, well, the universe cooperates. But when you're not aligned, then it feels like you're swimming upstream. You're trying to make it uphill with very slippery shoes, and you don't feel like any universal powers are helping you out. But there's a solution for that. Number one is get crystal clear on what you desire, because your desires are there for a reason. If you desire something, it's not just something you want, especially if it's a desire that's coming from deep, deep inside. It's something that it's your blueprint. And you already have everything you need to start moving towards it. And you can tell because when you think about it, it feels really good. And when there we go. Hello, Elizabeth. Hey, looks like Josh is here too. Everyone came at the same time. There's Josh, and there's Elizabeth. Elizabeth, how are you this morning for you, evening for us?
Hi there. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
I like the
Purpose.
spontaneity. This is good. I had just put on the baseball hat to cover up the bad hair morning.
I am still post gym close, so don't worry about it.
Cool.
All right. When you hear the word purpose, what comes to mind?
A focus or a mission?
If I were to ask, what is your purpose? What would you say?
To be of service?
And if I were to say, can you go deeper? What would you say?
To be of service to the earth and humanity and a little to myself.
How does it feel when you are in your purpose beam? That means you're living, breathing, acting out, feeling, and experiencing your purpose being fulfilled.
I would say that in the past, being in my purpose fulfilled, I was super joyful, very joyful, just overwhelming joyful. Yes.
There it is, number one. Knowing how your purpose feels is a key step. And a lot of people feel like they want to write a book, they want to accomplish something. Everything that doesn't currently exist in the 3D must start with an energetic frequency. And it's not just wishing for it, talking about it, writing it down, watching it on a vision board. It's actually feeling as if it's already occurring, feeling as if you're already the person experiencing that, and acting the way that person purpose fulfillment acts. So the most important thing is your intention, how you choose to feel. Like if your purpose, if it includes making more money, to look at your account and think, I don't have enough money, you're cutting yourself off the purpose beam right away. If it's to help people by sharing your voice, but you're scared to speak in front of people and you think, oh, I don't like public speaking, you're cutting yourself off the purpose beam. A lot of people are cutting themselves off the purpose beam because of time and money and lack of attention direction. So what's your biggest challenge of getting on your purpose beam? I'll give you a second to think about it because I see Josh's name, but I don't see his lovely face. Josh, can you hear me? Are you there? Is it just a gimmick? He may be having some technical difficulties, but I see his name.
He's in the dark. So, can you repeat that question for me? I got lost up in the Josh.
Yeah, the Josh was distracting because he's such a charismatic guy. I'm wondering what the heck's going on. Why is he in the dark? It's such a mystery. We'll find out. Why aren't you currently living your most purposeful, desire-filled dream life? Because I bet it's the same reason most people aren't.
Well, it used to be the excuse, and we did talk about this, and it's been a huge realization for me. It used to be the barrier, I would say, of not enough time and not enough money. Well, now I have the time, but the resources, the money resources aren't there because it seems like in this third dimension, everything revolves around a money exchange, which money is a currency. It's an energy, right? I just need more of that energy.
I love that you shared that because I would say that is one of the most common blocks for people actually starting to get into the purpose beam. I know it was for me, like switching from a very successful, profitable in-person gym to helping people align their energetic vibrational systems. It was like, wow, why would you do this? And I'll tell you, every day I wake up excited to do it better than the day before, to improve and to make it accessible so I can continue to feel the way I feel and it can help others feel the way they want to feel. So, number one, for anyone out there that has a money block, realize that that money block is your possession. And it was a decision you made a long time ago and a belief that you adopted a long time ago. And even though you don't want that belief in that program anymore, it's hanging around. So, first belief I'm going to invite you to have. Number one, that just like air, just like God or source energy, just like love, there is an infinite supply. Because money is just a token for value.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say there's an infinite supply of value?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So if you can firmly and fully embody and believe that there's an infinite supply of money/value, that's step one. But it won't just happen because you decided to right now. Like, this is literally a decision you have to make again and again and again. So if you look at your bank account and you catch yourself saying, there's not enough, you right away stop feeling that icky, stressful feeling and start feeling there's an infinite supply of money. More money is coming. And the only reason it would ever not come is if I choose to shut myself off from it again. And then you take a breath of air. Infinite supply of oxygen. That's still there. You see love around you. Infinite supply of love. Infinite supply of life. It's all coming from the same source. Josh, how's it going, man?
Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties over here. Yeah.
Well, thank Elizabeth, because if she had not got on, I would be babbling by myself, and I probably would have been tired of hearing my own babble after a few minutes, and would have it would have been a very short call. We're talking about most people's purpose, the desire they want to fulfill, they feel called to fulfill, involves circulating money in some form, and usually more money than they're currently circulating. And for some people, it's just getting out of the money stress area so they actually can focus on it. When you've had money lack in your life, how did you handle it, Josh? When you just looked at your account, you had stuff, bills to pay, groceries to buy, stuff to do, and you didn't feel like there was enough there. How do you frame that in your mindset and your energy?
You know, when I've had money lack in my life, and now looking back at it, that's the time I prospered the most, actually.
Why do you think like this?
Oh, because when everything's easy, then you don't work at it or something. Like, it's just there, right? So but you only grow in the season of hard. So when things are hard, that's when you're actually growing. Does that make sense? Yeah. So
Yeah,
even though that the season of not having enough, that was hard and it sucked. But man, you're so thankful when the fruit grows on the tree that you planted 3 years ago, 5 years ago. You got to put it out there. And then sometimes you even have to say, I know this is hard now, and you're looking for the harvest. So it's about planting the seed right now so that you can grow into the person that you want to be. And then how are we going to do that?
absolutely, Josh. That is a nice take on that. I love it. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. Now, I think what Tom likes to talk about is putting it in our brain and manifesting and all of that stuff. And it's great. And I believe that. And when we're down and when we're like, oh my God, this sucks. I'm the worst. Everything's horrible. That's the point in time when you need to focus even more on like, where you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps kind of and say, I'm going to think a positive thought. I'm going to think I am wealthy. I am going to manifest this. But that doesn't disinclude the hard work and the suffering, because the universe doesn't give us everything we desire because it probably is not good, because there's no growth without a little bit of struggle.
Well, that's so true. And, Josh, that reminds me of, scraping. I was talking with Dr. Tom about it. I was remembering scraping the floorboards of my car to get quarters, dimes, nickels together to feed Taco Bell to my kids as a single mom, and it wasn't like, at that moment, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I don't have money. It was like, I better find some money. These kids have to eat. And so
Yeah.
It was situation, solution, right? And
Right.
I grew from that. And I was grateful for being able to find that $1.20 that got the 2 tacos or whatever, at that time.
Yeah, 100%. And I can agree with you. One time, I was going through a toll booth, and I stopped right before it because I didn't have the $1.25 to go through it, and I was looking under the seats and scraping everything, like and now to this day though, I got $1.25 in my little pockets in my door. Like, I promise I got enough to pay a toll.
I can
It's-
see it, right?
It's $4 or $6 here in the Bay Area.
Well,
To go
I've
over
got
and
that
visit.
too. Yeah, it's there.
So
Inflation.
there's people that are struggling money wise, and they've struggled before, and they're struggling now, and they're working harder, but they continue to struggle. What do you think the difference is between someone that goes through that sequence and someone that, like you, Josh, who works hard and gets out of the struggle and actually has more? Like, I know the answer. I just want to hear what you all say.
So I think that's where it starts to go to. If you'll start to get yourself aligned right in the world, and even though you're in a hard time, you put your mind for the universe to bring things back to you. And then instead of saying I'm bad or I'm whatever, so it took me, I don't know, 30 years, let's say, to make $1 million, right? And then you lose $1 million. And you're like, oh, this sucks. It's really bad. This is not the end of the world. And then the next time you make $1 million and you do it in 2 years, right? You've learned all those lessons. You have all that knowledge. All those hard times are now paying off. So then if you lose, now you're 32, you lose another $1 million. So now it only took you a year to make another $1 million. So instead of beating yourself up about it, manifest it, believe in it, and believe that the universe is kicking your ass and teaching you a lesson. I'm not going to make these same stupid ass mistakes again. And then you move on and you go forward.
There's another thing you do, I do, and I want Elizabeth and everyone watching this to start doing. It's just believing in the power and energy of money itself, that it's an infinite supply. It's not hard to make and earn. And when you have decided that you are someone that has money, even when you don't have money, you keep making that decision that you're someone who has money. When you decide to do the extra work and take a different direction, the money comes because you've opened the portal. The problem is that people start working harder and stressing and working harder because they need the money, and they just get trickles of it because they're thinking, I never have enough money. Money's hard to make, and money doesn't like me. I don't like money, and there's this block to it. So Josh can work not as much, but don't get me wrong, work is always involved. Action is involved. Without creating something and providing value, money will not flow.
And you're going to have to go out of your comfort zone, because maybe you failed in the last time because it was easy. And now in order to grow again, you got to go through the struggle. You know, that's the universe. That's how we grow.
Okay, imagine a beam of light, an energetic beam of, it's a beam of energy, quantum energy, spiritual energy, third eye, chakra energy, and it's pulling you back into that purpose beam. It wants you to get uncomfortable. The universe wants you to take a risk. It wants you to get out of your zone, and that way you get closer back to your purpose beam, instead of just working at the gas station that you hate and it's barely paying you any money and you don't feel like you're making the difference you could make, or taking the easy way out and taking the money that it's safe and it's comfortable, but it's not even, it wants to pull you in. And sometimes if you're not gravitating yourself to that purpose beam, it'll knock you on your ass. It'll take away everything, and you will have to get uncomfortable and try something new. But the sooner everyone believes that money is an energy, it is not the fiat currency we touch and see. The dollar bills have very little to do with the money. Even though we think that's the only thing, it's the value that those bills represent. That's where the law of compensation, the law of circulation, they're laws that always, they follow it. If you are providing more value to the people you serve, and they know you're open for business because you're putting yourself out there, and you are providing value, you will get compensated for that value, and usually in this form of money. And Josh, I believe, from knowing him for half a year now,
Yeah, at least.
he knows money's coming. He knows it. He knows if he just keeps his attitude aligned with money, loving money, like I love money and money loves me. I love people and people love me. I love life and life loves me. Yes, right away. Like feeling in that, like it's already harvest, even though there's no signs of harvest, knowing that the money is always on its way because there's an infinite supply, and reopening the channel. So it's aligning with the energy, doing the aligned actions, and then allowing it to come. But the whole time assuming it's on its way. Never a doubt in your mind. Never doubting. You look at the account and you're negative overdrawn. Dude, if that creates doubt, you're blocking it.
Well, you learned something, so now you're going to grow because you don't want to be there again.
Yeah, I agree with Josh and Dr. Tom that our life experience, once we learn from it, is transformed into wisdom. And I remember listening to Jim Carrey when he said that before, when he was broken. I actually got to go to one of his stand-up comedian gigs in Las Vegas before he ever became famous. And he was struggling. He was starving. But he wrote himself a $10 million check and he put it in his wallet. And he carried it around and carried it around. And eventually he was offered a $10 million contract for his acting. And I forget which movie it was. But yeah, he just kept believing. And aren't these, we talked about this, Dr. Tom, this is intricately connected to our BS, our belief systems, right?
Yep.
And what we've been programmed since childhood to believe, like we discussed how my mother used to say, oh, money doesn't grow on trees. It's hard to come by. You have to work hard. Like Josh says, like you're chasing the money. We should let the money pursue us.
I want to say one thing. It's not all about the money either. This is one thing I need to say, because fuck the money. That's what I could say. Fuck the money. So I don't care about the money. You need to live a life that you're proud of. You need to live a life that you don't need a vacation from. I don't care if you got 10 million, 30 million, 5 million, or $5. If you're happy, you're doing what you want to, your family's healthy, that's all that really matters, because you'd spend all of that just to make somebody healthy again. So, and then look at all the lottery winners that go broke. They lose everything. They got $100 million just gave to them. And why do they lose it? It's because they haven't earned it. Whether they haven't earned it mentally.
They haven't made the inner identity, the inner energetic identity shift to someone who is circulating that amount of money, that amount of power, that amount of energy. Because it's energy. Yeah. It's like someone that gets in a relationship and the person that they're with loves them unconditionally, loves the heck out of them, loves them no matter what. And they're always wondering, hey, what are they trying to get? What are they trying to pull on me? And they're doubting the love and they're blocking them because they're not used to that flow of energy. It's like our system has to adjust to more powerful flows of any type of energy. And we have to do an energetic identity shift. Jim Carrey also said he hopes everybody can get wealthy and be able to buy and do anything they want. That way they can see that it's not everything. It's not going to make them happy.
Right. And those lottery winners, goes back to their belief system of the poor mentality, that I'm not worthy. I don't deserve it. I haven't earned it, as Josh says, and so they haven't changed that mindset. Therefore, they spend to get back to a comfort zone. Because when we step out into the unknown, if we've never been wealthy and we haven't had, Lamborghinis or whatever, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to be exciting, but it's going to feel uncomfortable until we get back to our Hyundai, and that's what feels comfortable, because that's our survival mechanism and wanting to get us back to normalcy, or what we feel is normalcy, right? So
yeah. If somebody gave me a Lamborghini, I'd just sell it.
Me too.
I have no need for a Lamborghini. I don't want one.
Our brains are hardwired. Our subconscious BS systems, they're hardwired for survival, not for creation. They want to keep it comfortable and surviving, so it's always going to go back to that norm. I agree with Josh. Money is not the root of all happiness and good living, but I also know that with purpose, money is directly linked, because when you are living your purpose and providing service for others, you're providing value. And the more you're providing, the more supply you'll need. And that automatically activates the circulation. So if we block that circulation, we will not be able to make the impact we're capable of making.
Yeah, and money alone is not going to make you happy.
No.
Money alone is not going to fulfill your purpose.
Money is just happiness is just like money. It's an energy that comes from within that you open up to connect with source. It's not, and it doesn't ever come from external sources. It's always an opening of the joy and happiness and love portals in your energy system. That way, you are the source of happiness. You are the source of love. Like you are the source.
Man, how strong would a person be if they could be broke as a joke and have that freaking mentality? That's where we need to go. Once you figure that out, right, then you've got it. You've already got it. And then it will come.
If we believe that we are energetic, quantum spiritual essence, having a physical experience in a physical body, and we believe that we are energy, first and foremost, a soul, a spirit, we're Christ consciousness, whatever verbiage that works for you, having a physical experience, then that belief is part of it, that we have the source within, the source of happiness, the source of joy, the source of love, and the source of prosperity.
So why do people want to make money?
I will say that not everybody wants to be wealthy, but no one wants to have to stress about money.
You know what I will say is that, I'd rather be rich and not happy, but have lots of freaking money. Then I would rather be poor and not happy and not have any money. It's got to make it a lot easier, right?
I'm gonna just
I'll go with that.
I'm gonna be completely transparent and real. I don't want to be poor at all, ever.
Oh, yeah,
Not
100%. Money makes things easier.
but I no longer. I've made money my God before, and I won't. I've learned the hard way because I got smacked up in the head by the universe. Said, "Hey," and I didn't listen. Smacked me harder. I didn't listen. Smacked me harder. Then finally, just knocked the shit out of me. And I said, "Oh wait, the problem was me.
I wasn't listening."
And it was just me. When you have that poor boy mentality and you feel like you made it out of the ghetto and the gutter, and now you're like, yay, the champion. But you don't realize that, no, this just means more energy flow, more responsibility, and that money needs a purpose, and it doesn't make you any better than you were the day before.
Exactly.
And I thought it did. I thought it made me lesser when I didn't have it. I really believe this. This was a BS ogre belief. If I didn't have money, I was lower value as a person. But if I did have money, I was higher value as a person, and definitely higher value than all those scrubs who had less than me.
Yeah.
That's the third dimension programming too. That's the societal programming that more is better than less. And I've actually, with my near-death experience, and sold everything and got down to 5 little small boxes of everything, that I felt like I had more than when I was paying for the RV, the house, the car. It was my materialistic things that were commanding that I go to work and pay for them rather than enjoying them, because I was too busy working to take the RV out on the weekend, right? So once I got rid of all those things and I simplified my life, I focused on what I had and was grateful for that. And that's when the quality of life went up, because money can't buy you love, but it'll pay for the ride, right? It can't buy you the life experience, the great memories, but it'll pay for the ride, right? So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. I
don't disagree. I will say one thing for me personally, I enjoy driving an old truck.
Me too.
Just an old truck. My wife drives a Mercedes. Okay, not because I'm not bragging, but she drives a Mercedes. I drive an old Chevrolet pickup truck, and I think it's fun and I love it. And
I love it. You don't have to worry about people putting dents in your truck. If they add one more, it's like, oh, one more. But if you have the Mercedes, you're out there like, don't ding my door, don't park next. It's like, hey, don't worry about that.
Yeah, and so it's about me being happy in my place. I don't need to show anybody else what I'm doing.
And here's the thing: you guys both really led into this point I really want to hammer home for everyone. And this is going to be a controversial way to tie together purpose and money. It's probably going to surprise people. But you start with how you want to feel. And most of us want to feel joyful and happy. That's number one. Number two is, how do you want your life to be? That's number two. And then number three is, what do you desire? What value do you desire to provide to others to get money for? But you build that around the life you want and the way you want to feel. Because the feeling, that's where it starts. The life experience you want to enjoy. Like Josh loves his life, doesn't have to go on vacation. So then you start creating the revenue stream so you can have the life you desire and feel the way you want to feel without money being an obstacle. But instead, it becomes a resource and a tool to help others do it too.
That's all it is.
Yes, that's
to get where you want to go. That's all.
Money loves a purpose. Money doesn't want to just be stored so you can brag about it and feel safe. Money is not a safety blanket like people think. I used to think. Money is a purpose that wants to flow through you so it can do more good and be part of the energy exchange and circulation of creation, of expansion, of more people benefiting. But it starts with how we want to feel.
Absolutely. I studied with the Buddhist monks, and they had a concept where you have two hands. So you have, okay, so I have this money. It's in my hands, and you're clenching on it to it so tightly that it's not until you let go of it are you open to receive, right? So it's like it's that flow. Money is an energy, to let it flow. So if you're living your life on purpose, you're doing what you love, don't worry about money. It's going to come. The universe is going to back you up on that. And if you're being of service to others and, you know, paying it forward, even more the better, in my opinion.
Well, and I think worrying about money or anything shuts off the supply.
Mm-hmm.
But being
you want to live in your mind to the place where you want to go.
yes, 100%.
And that's where the universe is going to put that and put those opportunities in front of you.
Act as if, feel as if, breathe as if, think as if you are already living the life you desire. And the universe, source intelligence, puts in front of you the path and the way you provide service to live that life and the money circulation coming in. But when people don't feel worthy, and this is a big one, they don't feel worthy of living the life they desire. They don't feel worthy.
That's not a money problem.
What's that?
That's not a money problem.
No, but it turns into a money problem because they don't feel worthy to receive the abundance that comes with that.
So it becomes a block.
And it becomes a block that
And then they blame it on a money problem.
And then they call it fate.
No, they blame it on a money problem. Oh, I'm not supposed to get it because I don't have enough money because the world didn't, whatever, it didn't give it to me. Yeah.
Or I've never been good with money. Like all these beliefs around it that unconsciously are blocking the money flow from happening. I mean, it's literally an energetic stream that either is flowing or not flowing, or flowing fast or flowing slow, or barely making it through. But everybody that's alive right now can say this belief, and it's true. You right now, you have everything you need right now. You've always had everything you need, and you always will have everything you need. So right away, there's no need for fear or worry or being scared of not having enough, because you wouldn't be alive if you didn't have enough.
Yeah, we all have everything. It's all out there for us to take. And it's a mindset. Once we decide where we want to go, right, then the universe will start putting those things in our path. And then we have to make a conscious decision to follow that path. And it's usually the one that not everybody's taking. It's usually the harder one. It's usually the one we don't want to go down.
This happened to me over the last 2 days. So I know that my YouTube channel is my most important magnet for people to find out about my services and to come to me. I also know that right now my YouTube channel is not performing well at all. And this crazy idea comes to me to completely reframe and restructure the value exchange for the true freedom systems, where instead they're going to work and exchange and work on my YouTube station. Now, my initial thing was, no, we don't do that. That's not a good practice. However, last week and the week before, I was like, okay, asking the universe, how do I get my YouTube channel performing well? What do I need to do to get this YouTube channel performing well? And it's like, I asked for it. It was delivered to me. And if I would have listened just to my logical thinking mind, I wouldn't even noticed that what I was asking for was coming. And luckily, I don't ever make a decision with my thinking mind. I just let it sit and feel. And then it's like, dude, that's obvious. Yeah, this is obvious. You don't need any logic. You don't need any thinking. You asked. It's here. Cooperate. Allow.
Yeah. So have you ever heard this quote, Tom? Oh, wait.
Where'd it go?
If you do not see riches in your imagination, you will never see them in your bank account.
Wow. Boom.
Imagination is one of the most powerful spiritual tools we have access to.
So yeah, that's Napoleon Hill. So I wanted to quote it, you know. So it starts in the mind first. And what are your riches? What do you want? Yeah.
So what is abundance? I mean, if we block the flow of abundance in other forms other than physical money, then we're shutting the windows and the doors to the universe that's trying to provide us. Like the guy that's drowning in the ocean going, God, could you just send me a life raft? Can you? And so he throws him a life preserver, and then God, and it floats by, it keeps happening. And finally he dies. And it's like, God is like, well, I sent you the life raft. I sent you the boat. I sent you the life preserver, but it wasn't what he wanted. He's waiting for the big ship and the cruise to come, right? It's like,
yeah, and somebody to give him coffee and donuts when he got on it. Like, yeah, it doesn't have. He gave you the life raft to grab
I
onto
feel
it.
like he wanted this big epic sky parts, and God, like in this some sort of form that he imagined God to be, came down and hugged him and beamed him up. It's like we have this expectation of how it needs to be. But here's the thing, and Napoleon Hill and Bob Proctor and a lot of leaders say this too, the how and the when is none of our business. The what and the why and taking the actions when they appear, that's our business. And
And then having
imagination,
an open mindset to be able to see it.
open heart, open mind. new
Yeah,
experience.
that's the trick. If we could just follow that and be able to see it, boy, I wish I was better at that.
Open heart, open mind, and yeah, be careful what you ask for, because a teacher's going to come along and probably knock you upside the head with a cane and teach you how to be better than that. And sometimes we'll say, "No, that hurt. I don't want to learn from you." Yet it's the teacher we need, but it's always going to feel uncomfortable.
And that,
like
that
you
goes
said
back
earlier.
to you, Miss Elizabeth. Like, oh, I sent you all these things. You didn't fucking grab onto it. Come on, dumbass.
Exactly.
Let's go. Like,
And
you
the
know,
Buddhist monks say, if you have no expectations, you have everything. Because if you have an expectation of an outcome and it doesn't happen, you're disappointed. Why? Because you're emotionally invested in that outcome, rather than trusting that this is, I will, okay, universe, this is my why, and then not getting attached to the how and the what and the who and all that other details, but then allowing that to come in the form that the universe knows better than yourself how that needs to transpire, right? So
Here's
don't
the
be
balance.
attached to it.
Here's the balance between Buddhist monks and metaphysics, because I have explored this, because I love the Buddhism. I love non-attachment. I love equanimity. I love those theories. But combining metaphysics, which is what Napoleon Hill was, one of the first metaphysicians, and Neville Goddard and so forth, expectation and attachment will always cause suffering. But what Josh was talking about, assumption of imagination is what creates. So the Buddhist monks weren't into creating life situations. They were allowed into letting it flow and going through, and more power to them. But what I completely agree with their detachment, equanimity. I'm a creator. And to create, I must assume the desire fulfilled without being attached to the outcome. That's the magic. Assuming it's happening, feeling as if it's happening. That's the thing. Feeling, you can't just imagine it. You must feel it's happening too, but not be attached to when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and what it's going to look like.
Isn't
Would you
that
say
your that's your spirit, your subconscious, your intuition, whatever you want to call it. That's the thing that makes us different than animals and everything else.
Your consciousness, yes.
And your consciousness. That's the idea. That's what's getting brought to our brains, to our hearts, by some higher power, however you want to speak it.
Let's just call it the source.
I'll call it God. How about that?
Call it the God source.
Okay.
I think it's God source light.
So that's what separates us, and that's why we are better. And so we're all better just for that.
But we don't use it.
We haven't been taught to use it.
There it is, mic drop. That's what I would love to do, is teach kids in school the power of awareness, the usefulness of imagination and assumption, and give them the the power and the understanding that they are co-creating their own life every moment of the time, every moment of the way. Does not matter what their parents created. They can co-create with God their life starting right now with awareness, with attention.
Whatever they're thinking about in their brain, they can achieve it.
Yes.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have the thought. Why do
And
some
they
kids want
are-
to be doctors? Some kids want to be firefighters. And then somebody's like, oh, well, you can't do that. No, bullshit. They wouldn't have the thought if they couldn't do it.
The moment they can conceive it, it exists in the quantum field.
Boom. There it is. So if
Yep.
you want $1 million, go get you $1 million. It's already there.
So
If you
thinking,
can hold-
doing, being, right? So
Say
my
again.
thoughts, my thoughts create my reality. I am infinitely connected to the realm of divine and infinite possibilities. So think, do, be.
I would
Right?
say be. So it's more than thinking. It's more than thinking. You
Well, yeah,
must,
because you got to believe it.
and you must feel it. You must believe it. It must be something more than a passing thought that feels good in the moment. It must be your energetic essence identity. Like you must, like if a person loses a bunch of weight, but they don't shift their energetic identity, they gain it back. But if they shift their energetic identity to a healthy person, the weight stays off because a healthy person doesn't have it. So be, do, have.
I like that.
Being is thinking, believing, feeling, and acting.
I mean, y'all are breaking it down so simple. That's kind of like the stupid live life, love, stupid T-shirts or whatever that everybody has.
It's a
You
good
know.
message, Josh.
Huh?
It's a
Be,
good message on that T-shirt. Better than
It's a
Nike.
great message, but they make it seem so easy that all I got to do is just lay back and it'll just happen.
no, man.
You gotta believe it. You
And if
gotta
you're
make
doing
it
it,
happen.
If you're
Without
doing
an
it,
idea,
if you're just doing without the believing and the feeling and the assuming the identity of that essence, then that doing is going to take a long time. But if you're being and doing, then you're going to have. But also, if you're just sitting there being and not doing shit, you're not going to get shit.
yeah. And I guess I didn't. I skipped third base and went straight to home plate. So
We didn't get to second base yet, Josh.
Anyways.
We're still first.
yeah, oh yeah. So is what I was trying to say is we live in this life where we can just DoorDash whatever we want to eat tonight. You know, we watch 400 fucking channels or whatever movie we want. You know, it's just easy. And so they put these very complicated, in-depth things where people used to go to church and have conversations with their elders and things like that. And we're not doing that anymore. Nobody is there. So we're just going to say, you know, I don't want to cook dinner. I'll just call this number or hit this app and my fried catfish will show up tonight. You know, I got it. I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to go fishing. It's easy. So
If you
that
have
live, laugh,
money
love is
circulate.
that easy button. The truth is, in life, there is no easy button. But we are the masters of our own destiny. We are the creators of it. And it might be kind of hard. And we're going to have to work for it.
If you can equate easy with enjoyable,
Then it ain't hard enough.
like your days are enjoyable, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think they are. But I just
That's
got
all
in the
that matters.
house. I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning. I've worked on the tractor. I fed all my animals. I fixed fence. Yeah.
That's enjoyable. How
Yeah.
hard was today for you? I mean, did it kick your ass? Are you exhausted? Are you just dead? Are you passing out? You need a drink?
I'm ready to go to bed. Wake up tomorrow and do it again. Yeah. I've had a day. I've had to think, you know.
But was it hard? Or was it enjoyable?
If you came out here with me, you'd probably be freaking wore out.
No. I'm asking you. My day was not hard. It was definitely enjoyable.
Well, I did what I wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of easy. That feels easy.
I don't even have an alarm clock.
That feels easy.
I don't even set my alarm on my phone. I just wake up.
Josh, you're living the easy life, bro.
No, I work my ass off though.
But it's easy. You're
To
living
me,
easy.
you're right. I wouldn't want to do what you do.
But that's the key, man, is living easy. Doing a lot of shit that would seem hard to someone else, but you enjoy it so much, it flows. That's the definition, is flow.
Who says it has to be hard?
Nothing.
It's only hard if you envision that it's hard. If Josh is enjoying being with the animals and being on his tractor and getting things done, and that brings him a sense of joy that he's accomplished those things throughout his day, that doesn't mean that it's hard. It's physical
Right.
labor, but mentally it's not hard. He knows what needs
But
to
he
get
could
done.
make it hard mentally if he decided to.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
could
100%.
mentally.
You know,
You
what's
can
hard
mentally
for
make
me
your
is-
day hard if you decided to. I can mentally make my day hard if I decided to. And it's the way we frame it with our beliefs. It's the way
It's our
we frame it
choices.
with our identity.
The choice
And
of way.
you know what? I set my life this way. I thought
Right.
about it years ago, right? And I'm finally kind of getting here. Now I have new goals, new aspirations.
What's your aspiration now?
I need a new airplane, and I want to buy a house on the beach so I can go back and forth.
Love it. My aspiration is to open up a massive center that includes fitness, wellness, and a place for kids to learn these skills they're not learning in school and to practice them and have fun doing it.
Good for you. That's yours. Yeah.
What's your aspiration,
Great.
Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Well, one of my books that I authored is Securing Your Legacy. And being a rehabilitation counselor, I work with persons with disabilities. And right now, the aging population of our baby boomers, they have children with adult children with disabilities that are in their 40s, 50s. And now the parents are coming to a point where they need care, right? So their question is, who's going to take care of my adult child with a disability when I need care?
Elizabeth, you lost me. What's your aspiration? What do you want to achieve in the world?
So my aspiration is to help this niche population to find peace before they pass.
Bam! There you go. And what are you going to do to do that? Time to start directing a lot of attention to that feeling and let it expand and grow.
I've written the book, and now it's time to get it more out in the world so I can help people.
I have a feeling there's more than writing the book now.
Yeah,
More creating in store for you.
for sure.
Well, okay, so this is just me and my business brain going. Why isn't there like a nursing home or a rehab center that would actually take the whole family in and then collect the money that they're all getting? Because I've never heard of such a thing.
It's a very valid question, Josh. And the thing is, the reality is, there's only so many state-run facilities that are not really ethically aligned. There's a lot of elder abuse. There's a lot of disabled persons abuse, and there's a lot of good ones as well. But the finances, the resources, but they are starting to create communities where they help each other, right?
Community, that's a big word right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there could be a total like real estate opening that you could either one give them individual housing plus and then charge Medicare or whatever insurance they have. You probably just buy like an apartment building or even do
single unit family housing applied to this solution.
Yeah.
There's two merging of two different businesses. One is highly profitable. The other one's highly needed.
I know for a fact that like elderly care, nursing home stuff, it's all funded mostly by the state and government. And, so you could take that from the father and then plus the kids are getting the same thing. And then you're going to offer a 3-bedroom fucking apartment or little whatever. So, and then you add it all in, then you build it all together and then you, boom, there it is. I don't know how it all works. It's just coming off the top of my head. I heard what
Absolutely. Yes, mic drop. I love it.
Now there's a community of families of such, so now they can have a community connection in their neighborhood, and now that it actually becomes a moneymaker for the investors, plus a better deal for the families, and there's less government involvement in it. Like saying that it has to be low quality, low cost.
You didn't even open an RV park with that in the design.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And in fact, there are some parents who have actually, like you said, they've gone and purchased a house and they've rented out spaces and they've hired the medical care to come in and they've put in a special needs trust, a living will, that when they pass, their disabled child, child with a disability will be able to stay in that residence till the end of their life.
Yeah. So the money's out there. See, look, the money's there.
If I'm streaming your aspiration, Elizabeth, it is creating a financially viable community that allows this population to prosper and live their life and live the easy life for them.
Right. Have a quality of life, because they're constantly stressed about, how am I going to pay this medical bill? Where am I going to get that wheelchair ramp? How am I going to, right? It's a constant battle with the external environment just to provide the care for their disabled adult child, right? And themselves too, as well.
Yeah.
I've seen, there was a sad story, I believe it was in Texas, where the parents were in their 80s. Their adult child with a disability, since she was a teenager, was in her 40s. They did a family suicide because they did not want their adult daughter to spend her life in a state-run disability home, right? And they had terminal cancer. They were on their way out. So they couldn't live with what would happen to her when they passed. So it was a family suicide. And it's tragic, but this is happening more and more. So we're trying to get to these people first before they do that, right?
I think this is $100 million idea. So,
Yeah, and what Josh always talks about is the community, like building it around the community concept and making it so it's all about that community, and then the resources to have the ramps and stuff will be much more viable and affordable because it's built into the community. I mean,
they don't have to go to a state run, because even the RV homes and the rehab and the old folks homes, they're getting money from the insurance through the state. So why doesn't somebody with a passion take that money and then make it happen, and then we can charge the state the same?
And also going with the work exchange thing too. With the RV, I like that idea where nurses, have like Nurses Without Borders, Doctors Without Borders. They could come and do some work exchange and do their internship, helping, providing medical care, whatever. My father, passed away, but he was a doctor. My brother's a doctor. I was supposed to be one. He did volunteership in Mexico, where he provided medical care for the poor, and they brought him burritos and little, whatever they made, little foods and stuff. And that was their exchange. But he said it was better than any monetary value that he got.
Okay. We are wrapping this up, but what we just did, this little mastermind brainstorm, this is the third component to the connection between purpose and prosperity. It's attention direction. When all three of us directed our attention to one topic, you felt the energy shift, you felt the ideas flow, you saw these other possibilities opening up. So directing our attention to what we're passionate about, and us directing our attention to your passion, it makes creation start happening. But now it's deciding to keep directing attention to it and trusting that the options keep opening up. But it's much bigger than our past conditioned mind will give it credit for. And sometimes it takes a big thinker like Josh to say, hey, what about boom? And it's already exists now. It's a matter of giving it more attention and passion and complete assumption of belief that it's already happening. That's how it works.
It. Yep. Well,
boom, mic drop. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well,
all right, Josh, any parting? Actually, Elizabeth, since you're our guest, do you want to have any parting words of wisdom, of sincerity, of love, light, and authenticity for any of our viewers watching now or the recording?
Well, I hate to fall back on it, but it's my mantra is be the change you wish to see in the world. The world, you can't save the whole world, but you could start one person at a time and with yourself.
Start by being, and then doing, and then having the satisfaction of knowing you're part of it. Josh, I'm glad you finally made it on. We waited for you patiently.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Worth the wait. Both of you. Awesome. Thank you.
Elizabeth, thank you for coming on and impromptu, spontaneous motion. And Elizabeth, by the way, will be the one restructuring my YouTube channel. So I actually get traction from that like we need to. And she created the proposal. She created the solution. And that just goes to show that when we decide to create, we do.
And you were open to it.
Yeah. There we go.
I didn't want to be the guy saying, God, when are you going to send me the rap?
There it is.
I
It's
said,
gotta be live. It's like,
I'll get on.
"Beam
Let's
me up,
go."
Scotty.
We'll keep you posted on how it goes. But thank you. Until next week, go forth, shine your light, and make life great.
100%. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Bye.
Thank you. I love you.
Thank you.